Camera running. Mic running. Camera running. All right, baby. Mic check. 1 2 1 2. What it do? It's your boys. We back with your motherfucking 20th Shark Stream. It's your boy Mako with the fucking Draco. Ramadan, Toby, One Kenobi, and our boy Rodney Twin Tweezy. Back on the motherfucking ones and twos. At it again. The boys are back. The boys are back. As I roll up this blunt, man. We just thank y'all for tuning in. Whenever y'all tune in, like I said, episode fucking 20. We knew we were gonna get here, but it's still astonishing every time I fucking think about it because what the fuck? Niggas didn't even make it past episode 1. Some niggas ain't make it past episode 2. But you know what? We did 10 times that.
Make it past episode 9.
None, nigga. It was just an idea. Let's start a podcast. What? And we gonna keep it going strong for y'all. We got some hot topics coming at y'all this week. Super Bowl just passed, so we're gonna touch on that. Major Coon and Gorilla Glue Girl.
Man, slipping waiting for this moment.
Yo, Rodney's waiting for Coon. Ron, can you pass me that ashtray right there?
There had to be a certain time to
Ron's been waiting for Rodney. Been waiting for 2 weeks. All right, man. So this got to be true to some degree because this is the 3rd week in a row we're talking about Tomothy Brady.
During Black History Month.
During Black History Month, man.
Y'all really putting y'all really saying MAGA man's the GOAT during Black History Month.
Look, man, I'm not saying, so I definitely don't agree that he's the greatest athlete of all time. Like some
not
people.
even the greatest quarterback of all time.
Oh my God.
I don't.
Go ahead and let out your true feelings, man.
Look, see, I don't. Once again, I'm not a football maniac or football historian, so I wouldn't be able to tell you if you are right or wrong. But you have to say he is at least a GOAT.
I never said no. He's not a GOAT. He is a great quarterback. He's just not.
I'm sorry. This man is.
He's got
right now until he loses in the playoffs next year. He is the GOAT.
I think even then he's still the GOAT because he's got 7 fucking because I understand what you're. I understand your point.
How is he the GOAT without mentioning the rings?
What do you mean? Rings are part of what makes
because
the
you
They're
you
part
seem
of
to
it, but that's the
downplay
only
his
thing.
stats.
But
like he is
but that is
a
the only thing that y'all talk about, right? Because
I don't. Once again, I don't know.
Because I could talk about a GOAT
but what
in
makes
a different sport, and you don't have to mention the ring.
But what?
Well, so what makes Aaron Rodgers the GOAT? Because of
Aaron
without
Rodgers
his
isn't the GOAT.
What makes? But you said okay. So everybody
Aaron
says
Rodgers isn't a GOAT.
niggas say okay.
Wow,
niggas say Joe Montana is a GOAT, and what always comes after that is he won 5 for 5 rings in the Super Bowl. Like in order to be
that was an actual incorrect. He was 4 for 4. But also another reason Joe Montana is the GOAT is Joe Montana's numbers are also better than Brady's, more significant. He got most of his success, or all of his success, in only 16 seasons. He did it in less time. He did it while not having the same superpower teams as Tom Brady at all times. And Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, yeah.
But Jerry Rice is
and
like niggas say Jerry Rice is
one of the greatest wide receivers ever, if not the greatest.
Mm-hmm. So
can you name anybody else though?
I don't beat that. Once again, I'm not a football
right. Can we name anybody else? Like my thing about Tom Brady not being the GOAT is there are these GOATs like
but it's
Joe
not,
Montana.
He's not even saying a GOAT. He's not even.
The thing about Joe Montana also is Tom Brady is chasing Joe Montana's status. He is chasing Joe Montana for these titles. And there are so many other factors that go into it with with Tom Brady than these other ones.
But I don't feel like. But if that's the case, then I can understand you saying.
I'm not relying on Tom Brady to win me a game.
But
that's another.
What?
What? That's how.
Literally,
it's like you didn't just watch the Super Bowl because he is responsible for.
So y'all didn't watch the same Super Bowl that I watched?
Oh yeah.
Y'all didn't watch
because let me guess, you're gonna say the defense is what got him there, right? Obviously, everyone would say that, but who put up 31 points? He threw 3 TDs
on 201 yards.
Oh, so we're not. So since when his touchdowns not impressive?
Touchdowns are impressive. He only
First of all,
threw
how
for
did he do it? How did he do that with Gronkowski, who was irrelevant most of the season?
You said, didn't I mention Gronk?
He did.
Didn't I mention that he had more weapons? Didn't I say that 2 weeks ago? Let's roll the tape. Come on.
Let's remember this point is all about Tom Brady.
I told you about his amount of weapons.
In which Gronk and AB and Fournette, who were putting up numbers they weren't like they were putting up numbers that weren't what they should have been this whole regular season. Postseason they came alive, and Gronk didn't even come alive till like the last two games of this whole season.
How does this help your Brady case?
How does this help your case? You're saying he's not even a great player.
I said all the help he had, and you're mentioning all his
He
help.
has to throw the ball, doesn't he?
I'm about to say, but he's got.
He's
but
the one that's
thing.
you're dismissing his leadership on how far he's come with his leadership.
Yeah,
it was It turns out it may have been Belichick. No, it's probably Belichick who was holding him back, and why the Patriots were slacking with their offensive firepower last season. No, you're gonna blame that on Brady? Yes, Brady wasn't producing the way he should have been.
Who did he have to throw to?
Nobody. That's the problem on Patriots. So who do you blame?
And he was
vouching to keep AB on the team, but no, everyone above him kicked him out.
Because AB got himself off the team.
So what I'm hearing is, if you have good teammates, you're the GOAT. If you don't have good teammates, you're not.
No, if you don't have good teammates and you still elevate your team to a higher level, you are much better. That puts you higher.
You have to throw the ball. Those receivers don't catch the ball by themselves.
Which is another reason why I don't really like doing the GOAT conversation in football, because you got to rely on 10 other guys. You got to rely on 21 other guys.
But we're not even saying.
You also got to rely on.
But my thing is not even.
There's a lot of people to rely on.
My thing is not even saying the ultimate GOAT. You can't even just be like he's not a GOAT.
I don't think that can exist. I don't think that can exist.
I don't. Yeah, and across any like I don't understand how you could like.
I said he was a great quarterback. I don't think he's a GOAT.
What I don't like. I don't understand how you can't like. It literally doesn't.
At this point, that's just pure spiteful.
It has to be spite, bro.
I said this 2 weeks ago.
He's literally the leader.
Who is your favorite quarterback? I don't think I've ever asked you who's your favorite quarterback.
There's still Joe Montana. I still take Joe Montana and Peyton Manning over Tom Brady.
You can do that. Okay. Over. I'm not even saying. I'm not even. But see, my thing is once again, I'm not even into football like that, and I can even be like, okay, I can see that. But you can't even. I don't understand how you can't put a nigga the leader, because he is the leader of the team. Like, I understand what you're saying. You have to give credit to the other people that are on the team, which granted a lot of people don't probably do. But I still don't understand how you can't say like a nigga who's obviously the leader of a team who went from one team and came over here and then won a Super Bowl, has 7 rings, can't even be like, okay, he's a GOAT. Maybe top 5 quarterbacks. Like, not even up. He's got like championships.
Didn't I just place him at 3rd?
Huh?
Didn't I just place him at 3rd?
You said not. That's a GOAT. That's on the Mount Rushmore.
It's been a while since you mentioned any numbers of where he's played.
Yeah, I don't.
So when you put it like that, I'm not gonna bet.
I literally just said I'm still taking Joe Montana and Peyton Manning.
You said over him, because I would just say like when I say GOAT, I mean like the Mount Rushmore of
football,
of whatever,
what,
like
modern football or just football. Period?
I'm about to say of whatever we're talking. For example, the GOAT of rap is like, okay, the Mount Rushmore of rap is probably like 5 or 6 other people, 5 or 6 instead of 4. Mm-hmm. But if anybody says any of these 6 people, I'm like, okay, I can see that. If anybody says Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, is getting to that point around Kendrick, and then even because Eminem's white, I can't be like Eminem, but I could see where somebody would make the point at. But if anybody was
the strongest point,
Eminem is a blueprint for a lot of these.
That's what I'm saying. Like Eminem, but I can understand the point of saying he's the GOAT. You could always for every single one of those people, you could be like, okay, well, this is a detriment to why I don't think they are the GOAT, but I can say they're up there. I can say the same thing about Tom Brady. Like, he's not. I can understand why people will be like, no, he's not the greatest player of all time, but he's definitely got. He's up there.
You say he's not the greatest player of all time.
He's like a GOAT. I definitely said a GOAT.
He's overrated. That's why I feel like
overrated.
God, and that's where I don't agree with you on.
He is overrated.
I think he's rated.
Another reason, part of the reason why he's overrated is because he was drafted 199th, and so everybody's like, oh, he's a 6th round pick and he did all of this stuff. And he was put into such a great situation.
He made himself that great player, though.
He got better, yes.
Yeah,
but he didn't. He's not like self-made, and he wasn't like a highly touted quarterback.
Like
Bellchick and Bomani.
The whole
Thank you. That's literally all I wanted. Bomani said this yesterday or something about like, because he was an underdog in this Super Bowl, and people were like, "Oh man, he did this thing."
Was
like,
an underdog.
Yes, he was drafted 199th in the 6th round. But he also went to Michigan. He was a quarterback who came from the system of Michigan. Like, it's not like Tom Brady
Wow, we
really
gotta
was
go
just
all the way
already
back to his
expressed.
college days to talk about how he's not a GOAT. Dang,
A
you know
goat,
what? It makes me
not
wonder.
the,
What do you have to?
not
Just
the,
a-
but a goat.
Even somewhere in my mind, I should say he's not the GOAT. He's a GOAT. I should settle at that to make Toby feel better because it seems like you. I don't know, man.
Like it'll be the same way that I have arguments with people now, where it's like people are like LeBron's the GOAT, and I can't be like, no, that's not true. I'd be like, well, I still take Jordan
Absolutely
over LeBron.
different. I also hate the comparisons of LeBron and Tom Brady.
I'm not talking about
Another
LeBron and
reason
Brady.
why
I'm
Tom
talking
Brady
about LeBron
can't
and
be a
Jordan.
GOAT is he's gotten way too many.
A GOAT, not a GOAT.
He's got way too many ties to just scandals and cheating that are attached to him, and just other stuff going on that I can't say about any
Including
other
the man.
That's a valid argument.
about
That is a valid
about
argument.
any other one of these GOATs. Nobody else has this history of being attached to cheating
I'm not
or
gonna show you my
scandal.
phone. Y'all remember when he said that? I'm not gonna show you my phone.
He literally destroyed the phone over a deflated football. They literally sent
But you
spies-
but you did say yourself, even in that case scenario, that they were like the other team that they were going.
yeah,
against was gonna win.
it
So
didn't matter,
I'm gonna say it
which
didn't
makes it worse because
But-
it didn't matter.
But I don't know.
Like literally, all you had to do was
Okay,
show them your
so
phone.
out of- so-
Roger Goodell is the biggest fucking pushover anyway.
So out of
he
7
wouldn't have
rings,
done nothing.
so out of 7 rings, you're not giving him credit for what, 3?
Yeah, probably.
That's still pretty. I mean, but that's still 4 rings.
And
That's
6
still
attempts. That's cool.
that's
Or
I-
7, I think. Yeah,
that's
7.
that's still 4 rings out of 7 attempts. That's still pretty fucking solid. Still a nigga that you can't bet against generally. Like I've never heard.
I can,
no, you can bet against
I can bet against Tom Brady.
Not that you can't.
I
but
can bet
I've-
against Tom Brady if he doesn't have great defensive coordinators and a defense and a great offensive line. Like that. These are also
He
things that I've
chose to go to the
seen.
Bucks.
Because they have
something in
because
the
they
defense.
yes because
Need
they had
help.
a great defense
I've always heard
and they had a
that.
great offensive line.
I've always heard this about Tom
LeBron
Brady.
had-
I'll
to
only
do-
bet against Tom Brady if he has no one to throw to.
But I've always heard generally don't bet against Tom Brady. I've
Because
generally
that's
always
just
heard
a
because
norm.
the odds have always been stacked for him. He's always had the perfect situation in these cases.
But I mean beyond having like
He had the perfect team.
a lot of people have always not always, but a lot of people have had like teams that we
Shady
should have
man.
been like, oh yeah, like they should be able to pull it off. I think it's deeper than that. Like
the
I think
2007 Patriots should
like
have pulled it off.
the
should have.
should have, but I just
day,
I mean as far as like I think Tom Brady has that reputation because he does I think tap into another
an
six
all-star
like
white boy.
like it'll be, but I mean, even if the Patriots are down in the fourth quarter by like 20 something points, I still hear people would be like, bro, no, you still don't bet against
Okay.
Brady. Because there are other people who will be like, bro, Tom Brady's a fucking menace. Tom Brady's literally like,
He is a menace.
I literally feel like Tom Brady's a White Walker from Game of Thrones. Like, he doesn't have a soul. He sold whatever soul he has. To the
He
fucking
doesn't have
box.
a soul. He used a PPP loan to buy a fucking
Me and
yacht.
my
He's a
mom,
politician.
me and my mom are like, Tom Brady probably has casual conversations with Satan. Like, they just stroll.
I'm pretty sure he called the honey badger a nigger on Sunday.
Probably.
Come on now.
He hates Tom Brady.
on.
He hates Tom Brady.
Okay, have you heard any of the audio? Because what I heard Matthew take back what he said because there was audio
Because
in the situation.
Matthew would have gotten the worst of the situation no matter what happened.
No matter what, but I'm just
Matthew has
addressing
a
your
history.
statement. Which
Matthew
you
has
just
a
said
drug
few
history
seconds
and being
ago.
suspended, and Tom Brady is the golden child.
Yes.
Matthew would have gotten
He's
the
a white American
worst
dream.
rap
All right.
Wrong.
anyway.
He's the white American.
I will say
Yeah,
this,
he
okay.
would have gotten the worst rap
like
anyway.
Draymond.
Addressing your thing, what you said about LeBron. Don't compare LeBron to Tom Brady. The only reason I would see that you have to compare them to is that what did LeBron do? LeBron had to make moves to get to where he is to win.
LeBron took the
championships.
2007 Cavs to the finals.
Tom,
Name somebody on that team.
all right, hold on. I was saying, so what Tom
He
Brady
took them
did?
past the
Tom
reigning.
Brady had to
he
make
took them
moves.
past
Okay.
Football's
Reigning-
lifespan.
He took them past
is
the Detroit
obviously-
Pistons, right? With Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace,
You
Rip
gonna get-
Hamilton,
I don't think-
Tayshaun Prince.
I don't
He
think.
took them past that. That team had went to
don't
some like
think-
4 or 5 straight Eastern Conference Finals.
I don't think
LeBron was 22.
You saw what I was saying? Did you hear what I was saying? I mean, the only reason I was saying is because when it comes to football, you can't compare the lifespan of football
to
basketball.
especially for
So-
a quarterback to
no, you can't.
to a,
So when Tom
But one-
Brady
but
makes the
one-
move to
but one
Buccaneers
player-
because he can't trust his
But
the
one
Patriots
player
to
in
deliver what he needs.
One player in basketball is way more important to that team than one player in football.
See, yeah, I don't think the sports are comparable generally as far as like us talking about goats in them because literally because of the lifespan, like you said, one player can make a bigger difference than one player on in football. You could be a fucking phenomenal quarterback, but like you said, if you don't got nobody to throw to, then it don't matter. You could be in basketball and be
you
like,
can be a
"Fuck it, I'm trying to
phenomenal
make 81
quarterback
points."
with nobody to throw to and still will your team to
the Super Bowl and win.
and or at least deep in
We're
the
gonna
playoffs.
have to. What's an example? by the
Peyton
way?
Manning on the 14 Broncos.
I'm sorry. He had weapons.
Russell Wilson
He
when
had
he's taking
weapons.
his team. Who?
I'm sorry. Peyton Manning had weapons. He had Demarius.
I don't.
Broncos.
I'm about to say I
Had
don't.
options.
I don't.
He had a
once
great
again,
running.
Where's
He has
Demaryius
defense for all.
Where's
these-
Demarius Thomas now? Yeah, that
What
defense
type
is
of
great.
question is that?
I'm about to say, yeah, we can't say that now. That's like 6 years. That's 7 years ago.
How long did Demarius Thomas last in the league though?
Man,
But
he
it
was a
didn't
key
matter.
component too.
It
And then
doesn't matter to say,
I can't remember the name of the tight end that was on
Exactly.
the Broncos, but he was reliable. The running back
Can't
at the
remember
time
his
was
name, so
amazing.
how
When he
important
was
was
crying
that?
tears at the Super Bowl, that was a key. Like, oh, you knew he was gonna go off
Brady could
against
barely fucking
Panthers.
And he literally came in. Tom Brady had a neck injury. He couldn't play. They put
I
Brock
don't-
It's like
Osweiler
sometimes
in.
I feel like we get
They
somewhere in the
put- they
conversation
put-
and we go right back to square one with
They
the
put-
disrespect. My God.
They
Fuck
put
that nigga too, man.
they put Brock Osweiler in with the same weapons and were like barely above 500. They put Tom Brady back in once he was healthy, and he literally willed the team to the Super Bowl. Yes, the defense was great,
But it's because
Tom
he's
Brady literally was the difference maker. He literally gave them
But,
like
okay,
a
so
run
you
game
can't
with
say-
not that great
so
of an
you-
offensive line.
so you can't-
and took them to the promised
Is
land.
this
So how do you?
compliment?
So
Are you
how,
like-
so how do you then say that he's just mid? I don't understand. How do you go from?
Was I talking about Tom Brady?
Yeah, you
I
literally
was
said Tom
saying
Brady. You literally said Tom Brady. You literally said Tom Brady.
I was referring to that Broncos team and Peyton Manning.
Okay.
Because first off, I said Brock Osweiler. He's never been a backup to Tom Brady on his team. I was referring to that Broncos team that went to the Super Bowl. They
beat Tom Brady in the AFC Championship.
They did.
That was great.
Also
They
another.
didn't have any other. They didn't have defense, or they. It was just Peyton Manning. Everything
that
else was
Bronco-
trash.
come on.
They had
I'm
defense.
asking. I don't know.
The
But that's what I
offense
mean.
wasn't
But
that
it wasn't.
great.
But still, that's not.
The
what I'm
offense
talking
wasn't
about.
that great.
I'm still talking about the overall. But still, it wasn't just. It was Peyton Manning, and maybe the offense wasn't that great, but he had a solid defense. If we're talking about the comparison to LeBron, it was like LeBron. Like nobody else was on that team.
Yeah, that's why you can't make the comparison between them and basketball. Like literally, pretty much any other sport, you
But
play
what
both
goats
sides of the ball.
What goats do have in common is that they have to make things happen to make things happen.
But I do
that's what
agree
makes
with
you
that.
a goat.
Yeah, like
and then for football to do that in 1 year, bro, this man done went to goddamn Buccaneers his first year and found Super Bowl gold.
That's
The
what
Buccaneers literally just needed a
but
quarterback.
look, that's what I. But
They literally just needed a
But
quarterback.
that's what I was even saying about
Who
Matt.
wouldn't throw 30 picks?
But I mean,
He threw 30 touchdowns.
He
like
threw 36 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
He actually had 35 like 35.
Yeah,
If
he
you
had
included
5 fumbles. Yeah,
and all that
he
shit.
gave the ball away 35 times.
but my thing is still like, okay, this is like the reverse comparison to Matt Ryan that I made a few weeks ago. It's like Matt Ryan's not going. Matt Ryan could never do what Tom Brady does, bro. I don't watch football.
If you put Matt Ryan
Where's
on
the
those Patriot
violin,
teams,
bro?
he's a Super Bowl
This is the
champion.
violin.
I think it's the bottom.
That was some.
It's the.
I'm sorry.
Like I don't think like Tom, like it's like Matt Ryan is the perfect example of somebody that's super talented, and he's clutch, I guess sometimes, but not in the same way that like. Not in the same way Brady is. No, I don't watch football every fucking Sunday. But I would go over my mom's house every once in a while, and I would love, one of my favorite pastimes to do is go watch football with my mom on Sunday, because the Falcons would always just fumble it some type of way. Yeah. And it'd be so great listening to her and Demetrius scream literally for 3 quarters, and then the 4th quarter, everything just get quiet and silent. And they just be looking disappointed. And after I was able to not be a Falcons fan, I was like, oh, actually, this is
Those are the
hilarious.
well-composed fans, believe it or not.
Yeah.
You have some screamers.
No, my mom's not a well composed man. Well, after when they lose, actually, yeah, she's pretty well composed. And I joke on her, but I've been joking on her about it.
She should be, honestly, but back then, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've been joking about it to her for the last like 8 or 9 years or some shit like that. And I would literally see Matt Ryan, it'd be like he just, I don't know, whatever demon is supposed to.
In a house full of screamers during that day. That shit was crazy.
Like they're like literally whatever demon that possesses Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, I think has some of it, but that GOAT force that seeps through Tom Brady, bro, Matt Ryan just does not.
And it's just the I think
it's
also just the image that they built around him too. Like he has that
Golden
influence, like golden boy factor. Like his teammates literally don't want to let him down.
Yeah,
Tom
like
Brady?
that's what I mean. It's all of that. It's literally like a force. Like, and I don't not say it is not the same thing for Matt Ryan, but it's not on the same level, bro. Like he literally, bro. Tom Brady really is a force, bro. Tom Brady will come.
And it goes for people that don't watch basketball. They know LeBron is a force. They know Steph Curry is a force. People who don't watch tennis, they know Serena is a force.
Like it has,
it's just the image they built around and just I don't know.
It's multiple pieces. Yeah, but I say GOATs in general. I think it's multiple pieces to that. Like definitely why I'm like I don't think you can really be like the GOAT of basketball because there are literally so many factors. Of course, there are factors that set certain people apart from others. Like I don't think Steph will ever be up there on the same level as far as GOAT conversation as like LeBron or Jordan. Probably the tier right beneath that.
Believe it or not, that was a bold statement.
I don't think so. Not in the same way. I feel like people when we look back on it, Steph will be in a tier of people. He'll be in a tier above people like Carmelo and Allen Iverson. And
how old is he?
Allen Iverson? Or
No,
Steph?
Steph.
Steph's like 31, 32.
32.
Yeah. So he'll be in a tier of people above like Allen Iverson.
I think he'd be right below LeBron.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
In that category of people. Because he definitely has like the rings and the validation. He's the greatest shooter of all time to definitely prove that.
Impact of just people that want to come in and just shoot threes.
And he's revolutionized like the game of basketball after a certain point.
Do you think Tom Brady revolutionized the game of football from the quarterback's position?
No. I just think he's a good
Revolutionized.
No.
Nah, because I think someone like Patrick Mahomes is sort of
Michael Vick.
that.
Like,
the scramblers because it inspired Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, literally after
Jackson.
Michael Vick, we never seen anything like Michael Vick, and then it was like, oh shit, it's like 50 of these niggas. Well, not 50, they're never Michael Vick, but it's like, oh shit, like that reminds me of Michael Vick. Like but that doesn't. I don't think that takes away from.
Are you about to bring some fire? Do you need to press something right there? Oh, okay.
I don't think that takes away from. I don't think that takes away from whether or not somebody is a GOAT though, because I don't really see a lot of people really implementing LeBron James, if that makes sense, in that same way, like Steph. Like,
do you see people implementing Jordan though?
Kind of, but not in the same way. Not in the same way that Steph. People
and
were like,
revolutionize isn't also just the implementation. Like one of the reasons Jordan is the GOAT is Jordan was a driving force of globalizing the game of basketball.
Yeah.
And Jordan also made it to where it was like, hey, a guy who's not 6'10" and higher can be your centerpiece.
Yeah.
And look at teams that we have now, right?
Yeah, So okay, yeah, I can definitely see that from that perspective. Not saying because it's not to say that LeBron didn't revolutionize, but I just mean in the same the impact on how you said people
LeBron changed how it was, where he gave players more empowerment and moves that they made for their futures. LeBron also made it show that hey, you can be friends with guys in the league and still go out and kill them. LeBron also showed that it's better to make the right basketball play than necessarily go on this narrative that you have to take the shot and you can still win, and you can still be clutch.
But I don't really mean I mean directly in the way where it's like
influence the game.
Yeah, more so literally. All those things are true, but more so in the way that like we never saw anybody doing what Steph Curry was doing really before he was doing it, and now it's like, oh well, niggas are just pulling up from the logo now. Like,
what have we seen that Tom Brady's done?
I literally just said that doesn't. One, I don't think that applies to every single individual. Two, I don't think that takes away from.
To most of them, why can't it apply here?
I didn't say it. I didn't even say it applied to most of them.
Why there's very clearly a common theme.
And also,
I feel like it's harder to apply to football. Too, because
it's really not.
And then also, I'm not once again
because that's Joe Montana. Joe Montana was the quarterback that they now went and looked at and was like, oh, hey, yeah, I can go around and do that with this guy.
But that's not.
I can let my quarterback roam out. I can let my quarterback throw a lot.
But I don't. But once again, I don't. As I said, I don't think that's per se the only
It's not the only metric. It's just another metric that I'm adding to my argument.
I mean, but I don't think that. But I don't think that takes away from. Because once again, I don't know football enough to tell you what. Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things Tom Brady's done to change, or at least, I guess, revolutionize in his own way how football works. I literally don't see.
Get a great offensive line.
I literally don't see a nigga winning 7 rings and not having some kind of fucking stain in the playbook of, oh damn, maybe I should start doing this like this. I just don't know football enough to tell you. Yeah. I know enough.
Tom Brady has played 21 seasons.
Yeah.
So just from experience, like, you're going to know more stuff. He also didn't run this offense.
I don't mean know the stuff. I mean by like changing something in the way that you say Joe Montana might have changed this, or I don't know, Randy Moss changed shit for the world, right? As far as, well, not the world, but the way the game is played. I literally don't know how I don't know, once again, the metrics on
Randy Moss
football.
Is a GOAT receiver. He is one of the GOATs of the receivers.
Everyone was saying,
you got mossed.
Literally.
You got mossed.
Mike Vick
Revolutionized.
I don't even
He
think Mike
literally
Vick was a GOAT.
Changed the game.
Mike Vick was revolutionary, but I don't think he was a GOAT. I think if you literally look
He doesn't have any of the other stuff to make him a GOAT.
No, he doesn't.
He
revolutionized the game of football.
He's football's Allen Iverson.
He is football's Allen Iverson. I don't even. Well, I guess he is football. He is football's Allen Iverson. I guess they're two different sports, but
I agree with that.
Yeah, they're two different sports, but yeah, Michael Vick.
Tom Brady is football's Robert Horry.
No. You cannot say that. He wasn't just, Robert Horry was just on teams and he was like kind of pivotal and he got rings. And he went to like a bunch of different teams and did that. He was literally a 6-man on.
And he always put himself in position.
He was literally a 6-man. No, he was literally a 6-man. He was not a leader on the team. He was Tom Brady has to throw those fucking balls, man. Tom Brady has to throw those balls to whoever catch them. Toby, I'm sorry, but you can't be like Tom Brady is Robert Horry. That's literally not. That's literally not Robert Horry. That's literally.
It's okay.
He is football's Robert Horry.
It's okay.
That's actually kind of painful.
Wasn't Robert Horry like a role player?
He was a 6-man. He didn't start.
Wow.
6-man role player.
He was a role.
He closed games. He came out in big moments. He hit big shots. He surrounded himself with other great players and great situations and capitalized off of the moment.
Oh my God.
It's a lot closer.
Someone didn't have a fun Super Bowl.
When you look at
my mom was even like, bro, certain niggas. My mom was even still, bro. My mom was even still like the fact that like Tom Brady goes places and like he demands certain things, like kind of how you said, like between the coaches and the team, he literally demands certain things because he walks with a certain aura. That's what comes with it. And my mom hates Tom Brady. Before the Patriots even beat the shit out the fucking Falcons in the Super Bowl, my mom was always like, I hate Tom Brady. Like I fucking hate Tom Brady. Like
he's a
I ain't even
piece of shit.
He is, but you know.
He's a terrible winner.
I'd probably be the same way if I was a winner. If I had 7 rings, if I was literally like, oh shit, I got more rings than Jordan right now. These niggas gonna hate me now.
I ain't never heard.
If Tom Brady calls you a nigger, what can you do?
I would have posted with
Bro,
the
you
MAGA
look
hat
so
on.
I would have posted
with the MAGA hat like this.
That's
With
just
the 7
hearing
rings
that.
on.
With the 7 rings.
With the MAGA hat.
With the MAGA hat. With
I
the
need
7
2
rings.
hands. I need 2 hands. Oh God. Oh,
God.
MAGA. I know he's not coming back. I don't even believe in this shit. I'm just doing it for the response. I'm Tom Brady. Actually, I'm retiring. Suck my dick. Yeah. super easy. Oh my God. All right. What was our
Honestly, I wouldn't have this much animosity towards Tom Brady if it wasn't Black History Month.
That's fair.
Y'all want to call him the GOAT?
I didn't say the
Y'all
GOAT.
wanna call-
I did not say the GOAT.
I
I didn't say the GOAT. I said a GOAT.
Those words have not come out of my
I
mouth
didn't say the GOAT.
yet.
I didn't say the
Not
GOAT.
last
I
podcast
said
or this. I will not say that during Black History Month.
I said a GOAT.
But
You want to
They
mention
make
GOAT
valid
and Tom
arguments.
Brady during Black History Month
I mean,
for MAGA Man.
I mean, come on, man. Let's just like. I think we can just be
For
honest.
MAGA Man himself, nigga
I ain't say
literally,
D. I did not say
literally
D.
secured a PPP loan,
Look,
bought
man,
a $2 million
I'm talking about
yacht,
football. I'm talking about
and
football.
pulled up to
I am
the
talking
parade
about
in that yacht.
football.
Like, full on
I'm
PPP.
talking about football. We're full on.
And even in football, not a goat.
Not even a goat. So you got Joe Montana and Peyton Manning above him. You said you put him at 3, but he's still not a goat. So everything, that means nobody else in quarterback position who is technically below Tom Brady.
Speaking of the Super Bowl,
is also not a GOAT. The only 2 GOATs are Peyton Manning.
I'm sorry. Correct. Did you like the Weeknd's performance?
I love the Weeknd performance. I wish the sound was better.
Sound.
Yeah.
I wish the sound was
performance.
better.
I like the
performance was great.
I actually wish he brought out a guest. I understand why
he brought out Aubrey and played Crew Love.
I understand why he didn't. I understand why he did not bring out a guest because they did snub him at the fucking Grammys and shit. And like,
he don't fuck with none of these industries.
Yeah, and I understand because I would probably be the same way. But at the same time, I do wish that he brought out a fucking guest because
that would have definitely helped. Mm-hmm. But it's like
I don't think it would have been that great because the sound was so bad.
See, you must have had like you were in a theater-ish setting when you watched. Oh well.
Did you fuck with the sound?
No, the sound was cool, but like we didn't.
The sound was like way too low. There were many moments where it was like I couldn't hear them, and at first I thought it was just my TV. So naturally, I go to Twitter, and like there were a lot of people who like literally on Twitter were like just hating. Like I don't understand why a lot of people were just like, "Oh, this is awful."
It's literally Twitter.
But then I saw like a lot of people who were like, "Yo, why is the sound so bad?"
It might have been.
Like, yeah, okay, so it's not just.
But then again, I had the volume. I'm about to say it was fine. But then again, I had the volume turned all the way up. So I mean, but I don't know. But I felt
that was my only problem with the performance. The sound.
Bro, this nigga came out on some crazy shit,
on the
bro.
Field.
Yeah, bro. The way the stage opened up.
That was dope.
I was like, bro, what kind of demonic Jesus
and then
shit?
before that, when he went like behind the stage with the
mirrors, that shit was crazy, bro.
And
they made
all
so many
dudes in the red suits and the mask that he had in his video.
Y'all heard about how
y'all saw the Joker
This is crazy.
People been talking about like they've been underestimating what the Weeknd has been trying to tell people about like his journey through the lights being Hollywood or whatever it is. Right, y'all saw that, right?
I did not.
I mean, that's the point. That's kind of how he shaped basically the performance.
I couldn't really get over the fact that it was a Pepsi sponsored halftime performance to millions of people, and he was singing songs about Coke. I was just really proud of that.
Yeah, like
exactly. That I remember.
I was really just like proud of that.
I'm just gonna start flying again. I'm trying to put it under something. It's a ladybug. Give me Gohan.
But no, I didn't. I'll actually go and check that out. And that's actually very interesting.
Like the whole people's face covered was, and then surgery type shit. How that would imply Hollywood wants people to like adjust their ways, their features for a certain look, and that remember that video of when he came out looking all makeup
handsome
thing? That was a
I didn't even fucking look into it that deep enough to know.
Yeah, I didn't look into it like that. I'm actually gonna have to
go back and look at it.
That's actually really interesting.
That makes a lot of sense. Like I said, but I did really enjoy. Well, because I'm not like a huge Weeknd fan, but I did enjoy what I did see.
Yeah, same. Like he definitely played his hits, which I definitely listened to.
His newer hits, indeed.
That was crazy to think about. You are right. He was definitely singing songs about like doing coke.
Yeah,
and I was like, Jesus Christ.
I mean, he won a like a Teen Choice Award or something for what was it like? No, he made Reminder. I think as a response, but he wanted something like I think that when he was like. Their face humming off a bag of blow, and like that song, I can't think of the name of the song. Won like a Teen Choice Award, and I'm just like, bro, like, did you understand what he said?
I will never forget when, bro. Twitter is always the funniest place, bro. I never forget when, for some reason, the Migos were doing like the Nickelodeon Teen Choice Awards or something like that, and they were like, bro, what song they gonna play? And somebody just put a video. You niggas in trouble.
Oh my
God! I was like, yo, y'all are literally too. I was actually rolling.
Oh my god! Like literally, like
they came out and did Stir Fry though, which was lit. That was during that time period.
Yeah,
that was cool, man. I remember seeing that and being like,
2 or something. Like
that was Culture. I remember seeing that and be like, oh man, it's about to be the end. We've reached the peak. They're doing
niggas in trouble.
Yo, that shit had me crying. I was like, yo. I wish I'd be at the Cheese Dress Awards and I hear you niggas in trouble. I'd be like, bro, this is the most amazing.
Bro, all you need to hear is the first horn.
Duh. Yo, 100%. All right, man. What are two other topics this week?
We brought back Coon of the Month, but we also got Gorilla Glue Girl.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we can talk about Gorilla Glue Girl. So I'm pretty sure you guys heard about Gorilla Glue Girl.
She is not Coon of the Month.
She's not. No, she's not. But that shit was crazy.
Unfortunately.
So I remember talking to my mom about this shit. I talked to my mom about this shit, bro, and she was like, I remember telling her. I don't remember how we got to the point in the conversation, but she was like, I think she said she thought it was fake or something when she first watched it. I was like, bruh, no. And she was like, no, it can't be because ain't no new girl showing up. I was like, Mom, it's underneath the hair. It's literally under, like, it's super like glue. It's caked underneath the fucking hair, bro. And
caked under.
Yeah, and I was like, bruh, I knew something was wrong when she made that video where she was like putting whatever like stuff in her hair. Because I was like, bruh, she rubbed that shit in and it was just like it just got absorbed and nothing happened.
And then like she just washed it off and that shit sounded that shit literally sounded like sandpaper.
It did. Yeah, she didn't even wash it off. She just kept doing this and then it disappeared in her hair.
I literally like watched the video. I tend to watch Twitter videos with like no sound sometimes because like there was like no caption or whatever. It was just a video. I just watched it with like no sound and I just saw her doing it and I kept scrolling because I was like, oh, this is something for like women on Twitter. Like she's putting stuff in her hair. I don't do all that, man. I just get up and go, moisturize every now and then when I got to get it redone. So I was like, all right, this ain't for me. So then I keep seeing like Gorilla Glue Girl trending. I'm like, what? And then that video came up and then I paid attention. In the beginning, I saw the Gorilla Glue. I was like, she put Gorilla Glue in her hair? I was like, wait, what? Like, was this a joke? I had to turn this out.
Because I also stopped. I also stopped because I've seen the Gorilla Glue gel. Yeah, I've literally seen some of that and put that on like some of my hair just to see what it was like, and I was like, maybe she thought that's what it was.
Yeah, and that was the thing. She thought it was that.
The plug is quick, y'all. Gorilla Glue cannabis. Oh my god, bruh. Yo, not internet, but I mean, yeah, I guess it is part of the internet. All that shit just too quick.
It's really quick, man. It's really quick.
Like, yeah. But she
you saw the statement Gorilla Glue put out.
No, she's trying to sue them.
I think she is trying to sue them.
She's trying to sue them, but her case.
How do you sue them?
She can't.
That's what I was about to say.
Can you imagine what the corporate people look like right now? And he's
like she's
a 40-year-old woman.
Yeah, and she has said that she intentionally put it in her hair. That's gonna dismiss your case. Mm-hmm. So I was like, there's no real reason to do this, but I mean, she got verified for it. They got to GoFundMe.
Yeah, she's literally verified.
So that's the internet in 2021. Oh,
that'll tell you anything.
Right.
I heard some things about, it's Black History Month. Let her get her.
Yeah, people were like, let her get
milk her shit.
I was like, I mean. I don't care about it either way.
We got some other white people out here.
We got famous for
claiming to be niggas getting famous. So.
I really don't care. I did see one thing though on Twitter where one girl said she had a bikini wax.
Oh my god!
And they used, I don't know if it was Gorilla Glue exactly, but like basically like the same situation just with the bikini wax. And I was like, let's not make this a trend where we do stupid stuff.
I saw a girl
after one person makes a mistake, if you will.
Yeah, there was a girl that fucking permed her fucking pubic hair and she fell asleep and then she woke up and she went to take a shower and basically she was just like everything was just falling off her hair and then my skin started falling off. Yeah, basically she was literally falling off the bone and they had to make her wear a diaper. But I was like, why would you try to perm your pubic hair? What is
You're a grown ass woman. You gotta wear a diaper for not any medical reason.
How long is your pubic hair? Huh?
You saw this.
What? Oh yes.
Keeping track of everything that's happening.
Oh yeah, you got the insurrection in January, and now you got Gorilla Glue Girl.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yeah, man, because they lost track of it last year.
Beautiful.
It is, bro. Like a great and an awful space. I keep trying to delete it, but then I'd be like, bruh.
Oh no, I'm never deleting Twitter.
I've deleted all my other social medias. This is the only social media platform that I actually use, but I think it's because of the fact that you can use it kind of as a vacuum, and I can just talk into it sometimes, and also like update it. And it's the only one that's like truly funny to me. But like, I literally do not be using Instagram. Like, and every time I download Instagram, I'll post something, and then I'll be like, oh damn it, they got me. I'll post something, and then I'll be like, I might post like 2 or 3 things, and then after a while, I'm not even after a while, bro. Like eventually, I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to use this shit like that because I don't really care.
Instagram's a terrible place.
It is, and I don't really care. I hate how visual Instagram is. Like, like the fact that like, I don't know. It does fuck with my psyche. Not so much in the way where it's like I can't use this, but like I notice my mental health is better when I do not in fact use Instagram.
No, they definitely put like Netflix documentaries about stuff like that. I can't remember the name, but it definitely
wasn't there one like the social
dilemma.
Yeah. I wanted to say Social Network, and I stopped myself. Like, that's not it. That's not it.
No,
yeah,
that was a good movie too. Yeah,
Social Network. Oh
yeah, that was a good movie too.
Social Dilemma. Yeah,
Andrew Garfield.
Brenda Song was in there.
Did y'all see it enough to where you like trying to memorize one of the scenes and how like when it came to them arguing at the end?
No, I only watched it like maybe 4 times.
I watched it.
It was really good. I liked it a lot.
Because it was so tense when the confrontation when Zuckerberg had to dismiss him, saying
that was I did like that scene when he was going. I also like when Andrew Garfield came in and was like, "This is my shit," and I'm basically coming in here to take all of this shit. Like, you don't own any of this. When he came into the boardroom.
Yeah, I will definitely say that about that movie. I didn't personally try to memorize any of the stuff, but I do remember like watching it and being like, dude,
it had notable scenes for sure.
Yeah, this dude's definitely an ass, but like, I do appreciate the fucking boldness to be like, there was a scene they asked him something, do we have your attention? Yes, you have like you have my attention.
Like this percent.
You have like the smallest possible percentage of my attention that you could have. I was like, bro, I wish I could just be white and talk to niggas.
Also, like
that's amazing.
Also, like looking at it now, Justin Timberlake playing the guy who created Napster is like hilarious.
Yeah, that is actually.
That's like just like absolutely hilarious. But it had a lot of like great scenes. I also, Ron would appreciate this. You might appreciate this too, Ronnie. I love the scene where they were doing the coding challenges and stuff. Like, you had to drink and like you had to do the coding like real fast. Like, I legit thought programming was gonna be like that in college. I was disappointed when I got to college because I actually wrote my senior paper in high school on the Social Network. I was I don't even remember what it was. It was a full-on research paper. Like, it was 8 pages, and it was about that movie. And
I bet you had fun with that then.
I got 100 on it, and I was like,
that's amazing. Good job, Toby.
This is great. And I was like, this is also going to be great. But that was like the only thing that I could look forward to in school, because I actually didn't really use Facebook, and that was what it was mostly targeted towards. And then we didn't do, the programming, department really didn't do stuff like that. I was kind of disappointed. I should have went to a more white school. Should have went to fucking Harvard.
Yeah, I don't remember the Social Dilemma too much, like I said, but I do remember there were several scenes. But as far as like I said, like Instagram, especially because it's like, I think if the algorithm worked how the algorithm if the algorithm worked like before, I might use Instagram more. But it's the fact that like it doesn't. It's just so fucking.
The caption has me dead.
It's not good. Yo, I'm sorry.
I don't even have to listen to it.
Have you seen this?
I don't even have to listen to it.
Oh my God. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Me and Ron been roasting this girl all day. Not all day, but I did spend about 20 to 30 minutes of my day. Ron came with the burners. Ron came to fucking party, man. Oh God, bro. Niggas is really cooking this woman. Bro, I'm not even gonna, niggas is really cooking her. But yeah, like, if the algorithm worked like it used to, where it was literally like you post things and people see them in time, like, and it wasn't a bunch of extra crazy shit going on, then I think I'd be more acclimated to use it. But there's just too much going on.
Fucking shopping center. Getting on Instagram is like sometimes like going to the mall.
Yeah,
like they're constantly selling stuff. Mm-hmm. They got all this different stuff for like reels
say that
and
louder.
all this other stuff.
They're constantly selling
stuff, man. It's like, bro,
just know the whole thing. What you just said,
reels,
like, from the beginning. I realized like he immediately is making sense.
It's like Instagram sucks, man. Like I literally use it just to promote the podcast.
And I say like
I make it on there occasionally for personal.
And I've been at everyone. The only time I was just saying this. The only time I ever download the app again and open it is when like we're doing something. It's either somebody's birthday or there's like a special. I'm definitely gonna download it and use it the whole weekend for my fucking birthday because we're gonna be like we're taking a trip to fucking Miami and I'm gonna be like doing hella shit. So I want to be able to get that just so I can have it to go back. Because I did, one thing I will say is last year I was able to go back at the end of the year and go through so many different like memories and just different days that I had with people just from posting on my story and shit like that. But I was like, bruh, I don't like at least as far as Instagram goes, like I said, it's so fucking visual. I'm always looking at what other people are fucking doing. And not that it's fucking bad, but it just does something like, I don't know. I feel like it motivates me in a negative way versus a lot of times versus me like a difference. For example, I've been locked in my room for the last like 2 or 3 days, but I've been productive. Yesterday, I was actually mad at myself at first because I woke up and I was like, bruh, I think I woke up, I did something, and I started doing something and I fell asleep. I slept a lot yesterday, but I was also hyper productive. Like I did a lot of shit yesterday. And then after I stopped and I thought about it, I was like, bruh, I feel like one of the reasons why it's easier for me to genuinely be productive is because I'm really not looking at shit anybody else is doing. I'll get on Twitter and I'll fucking scroll, see some funny shit, or even like you can see what people are doing there, but it's like it's just a little bit different, like I said, versus just the constant like imagery. I
remember seeing something on Twitter.
Also, I'm sorry to cut you off, but also I realized that a lot of the people that I want to talk to, or not even I want to talk to, a lot of the people that I talk to over Instagram, I actually talk to. So I was like, bruh, I don't really need to like.
I don't need to be here for this.
Yeah, I literally have a group chat with like basically everybody that I need to talk to for the most part, and everybody else I can just like actually hit up and call and talk to on FaceTime. So I'm like the social media part of the aspect isn't really there unless I'm just posting funny shit, which isn't really helping to build anything.
When I was posting memes regularly on Instagram, it was fun. Then like it just got to a point where nobody was like responding to the memes, so I didn't feel appreciated. So I stopped posting them because I was like, these are way more funny like on Twitter.
Yeah, dude.
I don't like have to post them here or share them for that reason.
See, one thing
way more fun. On Reddit.
One thing I will, but see, I think it was kind of the opposite for me because I could take stuff and just some memes I would just make myself off of things and I just post them on Instagram and I get like responses for them, but it was just like it was the unhealthy relationship I had with it. It'd be different if it was just genuinely, I don't know, maybe if it was more like Twitter in its own way, I don't know, but it was an unhealthy relationship that I had with it. And then at one point I even turned my notifications off for it. And it helped, but it still wasn't as
I just put a time limit for Instagram. Because a lot of times, like, I don't get on Instagram to do anything. It's just that when, if I'm working, there will just be a momentary, not even like a mental lapse, just a mental lull, where for a second, I don't have anything to do. Or, I don't have anything to do new. Or motivation isn't the word I want to use, but any type of new idea for a problem that I'm facing, so I clear my mind by picking up my phone. And a lot of times, like, because you can on the iPhone, you can actually go in and look at your screen time, and it'll show you like how long you're on something, but it'll also show you stuff like pickups, like how many times you just like picked up your phone and then cut on this app. And like Twitter has a lot, because I'll get on Twitter and I'll scroll for 5 minutes, an hour, and have a good time and laugh and stuff like that. And then like I would get on Instagram and it would be like 2-3 minute spurts, but just like so constantly, it was like I'm literally doing nothing on this app. So I would just set a time limit to where it was like, yo, all right, I've been on Instagram for 5 minutes today, put a time limit on it, so it was like, hey, ignore the limit or hit okay. And it just to train myself to just not pick it up for pointless reasons. But like Instagram, like I saw a joke that was like kind of funny and also kind of unhealthy, but it said everybody on Twitter is miserable and they joke about it, and everybody on Instagram wants to flex like they're not miserable. And I was like, and that's exactly why Twitter is better. Because, to me, like, you could get on Twitter and somebody could make a completely outlandish joke, and it could deal with, like, depression or anxiety or any one of these things, and it's like, oh, haha, that's kind of funny. Yeah. And then you can move on to it. Whereas, like, and you may feel that way and be like, oh, hey, somebody else is like, haha, that's kind of funny. And then you can kind of get through the rest of your doing. Whereas you get on Instagram and you may feel the same way. And somebody's like, oh, yeah, look at me in my private jet. That's really like a cylinder that I cut out in L.A. And it's like, damn, why am I not like that? Like, it causes different things in your brain. So what's it called? It's like, it's just not healthy.
And even outside of that, when I say like Twitter is the vacuum, and Instagram is just like I said, people, like Toby said, people just like post a lot of times just how they fucking feel. And it just gains traction because ironically a lot of other people feel this way, but it doesn't really feel like sometimes it feels like with Instagram, forced. Yeah, it's forced. Like, if somebody puts something like that on their Instagram, even if it's just like words in a fucking story, I'm like, boy, if you don't take your fucking... Nobody want to see that shit.
Right, like, bro, nobody cares.
Suck that shit up. Yeah, because it's not like... It's literally... That's not what Instagram... I mean, you can use whatever you want to use your social media for, but it feels more like a cry out versus, like I said, Twitter is just people...
Ranting,
talking to themselves.
It's also the thing of like the vacuum, like you said, like the people that you talk to on Instagram, you know, like in real life, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what social network I'm on. I only follow majority of the people that I follow and interact with. I know in real life. It doesn't matter what social network it is. But the same thing goes. Like I can post something on Twitter. And I went viral for saying semi-viral for like back when like Lil Yachty like years ago was at Complex and he tried to dunk and it was like awful and I was like, Lil Yachty dunks as well as he raps and Lil Yachty saw it and commented, so people kept coming and commenting, so I was just interacting with Yachty fans who were trying to defend Yachty, and I was like, damn, he a grown ass man. Like I was just joking with like everybody else. And like that was fun, right? But it could reach so many people, even if I'm not talking to anybody. Whereas Instagram is like, if I post something that's kind of like, hey, I'm not doing well right now. Like somebody's gonna be like, oh, how do you feel? And it's like, I don't really like want to talk about it because like you know me. I don't want you to bring it up in another context. Whereas Twitter, like you could literally just ignore it.
There's definitely
just,
a lot
like,
more people that I don't know that I interact with on Twitter that I feel like it's family to me.
Yeah, right.
And like I could just, I don't know, I can just talk to them about anything. And it's really cool because you're also able to find a lot of people that share the same similarities as you quicker. Just I don't know, just commenting on news is pretty cool.
Like it's because it's so quick and so.
I deleted Instagram a while ago, especially after that Reels shit.
Bro.
The Reels update. Like it's just I just go back to look at my DMs now.
When they
people
show you,
message me about
when they show you the first 10-15 seconds of it, and it's actually, well, if say it's a reel that's actually maybe good, and they show the 10 seconds and they stop it, you have to actually press watch reel to see it, and they start it over instead of continuing. That's just the technical thing I notice about reels that I fucking hate. I'm sorry.
But it's so many small things.
It's so time consuming. They want to keep you.
Yeah, and then they're converting to Facebook basically.
I don't even go to like the Explore page or anything like that.
Yeah. And also,
right, because it's just full of.
I've never been on the Explorer page. Not like never in my life, but like the only time I've been on the Explorer page is literally when I went to go search for something. Like I never have been one of them niggas that be on the Explorer pages. I'd be like, bruh, this literally seems like a numbing vacuum. And it feels like if I start doing this, I'm gonna just be here for basically like no reason at all. And like I said, it's not really I appreciate what it can do for you as a business tool. Because if you're using Instagram for the proper reasons and it's working, because it's so visual, people can see what you're doing and be like, oh shit. But it's just I don't know. Maybe it's just because of my perspective, but I don't feel like most people be using this shit. Like it's like
take your time.
I don't feel like it's for niggas I feel like it's harder. It's so hard for niggas on Instagram. What is it's not made? It's not really made for niggas, at least for the most part.
Social media in a whole.
I get it, but
in a sense,
but I can see. But see, Twitter is like once again, Twitter is so much different. Like because once again, it's just it's just a vacuum. Like
wait, can you talk shit on Twitter?
Yes,
bro.
The worst people that have ever existed are on Twitter. There's probably somebody worse than Hitler on Twitter, and the only reason they're not real life Hitler is probably because they have Twitter.
Burner accounts are for pussies, though. Say it with your chest,
dude. Man. I don't know, man. Sometimes you might need a burner, man. Sometimes you might need a burner, man. Nah. Cause I'm not gonna lie, I've had a couple of burners. I've had a burner specifically once. I was just depressed as fuck, and I was like, dude, I just need to.
That's not really like a burner.
That's a burner.
That's not really a burner. Now, burner means like I'm gonna say some shit.
That's what you mean.
I can't say.
That's what you mean.
Because niggas gonna come at me.
So what
like
I'm talking
that's
about
for pussies.
Like
like
a spam account.
Like a spam account.
Because I'm about to say, I don't even think it. Because I think I didn't even follow anybody, and I didn't have anybody following me. But I was just posting. I was like, bro, I feel like saying some of these things.
Because I actually created a spam account on Instagram for like when I feel
I did
depressed
have a
and shit.
spam account.
Just so I don't have to flood my actual account.
I did have a Finsta too.
I didn't even see the
I never made a Finsta. Because like even before they made like stuff like close friends,
I was just like spam posting and just talking shit about like my day. Like it was literally like a visual diary type Twitter. How my Finsta was.
That makes sense.
Because like even before they did close friends, like you could like specifically like for your stories at least if that's how you did it, you could pick and choose who could see it even before close friends. So I was like, I never really saw a reason for like a Finsta. Because, like, who else is going in your DMs and stuff like that anyway?
And I was saying that, too. I was like, most of the shit that I post, like, I could just put on my, like,
I could put on my main page.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I didn't. Not that risque. I was like, I needed a Finsta.
I couldn't put stuff on my main page.
I was like, I'm not that risque. And then not only that, like,
I couldn't put stuff.
I don't give a fuck. Unless it's something like, once again, on my Twitter, I made a whole account just because I was like, I feel like I have to say things, and because I can understand what you were saying, like it was kind of like a visual diary. Because I was like, I feel like with my Twitter, I was like, I need to make a Twitter where I can just say what I want to say to get it off of my chest, but also like
I still do that on my regular Twitter.
Yeah, but I was like, I don't want because people do. I was like, some people do follow me, from real life, and I was like, I don't want these people like, hey, are you okay? Because I know I'm okay. I just need to be able to explain, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then also, like, my handwriting is so horrendous that, like, I can't read it half the time. So, and then not only that, but, like, I don't know. I don't like wasting paper.
I definitely did make it.
I can just type this up, and then when I'm not depressed, I can just delete this account.
Like, I did definitely make a spam Instagram for that, because, like, I just got sick of putting, like, I would just, like, put one, like, random account in, like, close friends and then post really bad memes, or really like sad memes.
Bro,
but then I just made a spam one like, I don't have to constantly change this.
Where do niggas get these bad memes from? There's like
I get a lot of memes. Or bad memes or like
not depressed memes, bad memes. Is there so
memes?
many like
you get bad memes from.
I don't even know. Like I'd be looking at memes that people like 4 or 5 years younger than me be looking at. I'd be like, bro, what is this and how is it even funny? This is just strange. Stacy be posting the memes sometimes. I'd be like, bro, what am I even looking? Is this a meme? like what is it? I can't even begin to like. It'll be like a picture. It is like, you know when they say the picture is deep fried.
Kawhi Leonard deep fried his
chapter. You know where they like? I don't even know how to explain it. Like, look up deep fried beat. Like, niggas just be having random shit in an image. It'll be like a picture of Kirby.
Yeah, like I don't get those. I don't get those. Like how they're actually like funny.
Ew. Like is that what we're talking about?
Hold up.
It'd be like a picture of Kirby.
Yeah. stuff like this.
Yeah, just
Yeah, like,
weird.
And it'll be some weird statement.
Stretch.
Yeah.
Shit.
Some
they're
of them
like
be-
That's
they're like
part of the-
anti-jokes or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, they're like anti-memes in a way.
Yeah.
Something that did like, or some shit be so simple. It'd be like, it literally. I've seen a picture of SpongeBob yelling, and somebody was like, "You got SpongeBob yelling," and it was spelled SPUNCH.
Oh,
Bob yelling, and it was the way they spelled yelling too. You got SpongeBob yelling. I was like, see, that's actually pretty fucking funny, and I can't even explain why. But that's a pretty good fucking anti-meme. But all right, man. Moving on. We got a Coon of the month.
I don't think we've had one since November.
I feel like we have. We just probably
I
haven't
think we
talked
actually
about it.
said
And
it.
highlighted it.
Yeah.
Yeah, highlighted it. Yeah. What's the dude's name?
Austin Chenge.
All right.
Yeah, Austin Chenge. He's going to be running for governor of Michigan. And so, actually, I'm sorry, I thought this was actually tweeted today. 2 days ago on Twitter, Austin Chenge said, "I will cancel Black History Month in Michigan. It's offensive, unfair, maybe illegal.
Oh my god.
Americans
Oh my God, I saw
from
that earlier
all
today.
backgrounds deserve a revered history. I'll declare American History Month. Austin Chenge. Hashtag veteran.
I will
First
declare.
hashtag Republican governor.
I'll declare.
Hashtag
I'll
candidate.
declare.
The fact that they have headlines: Michigan GOP candidate for governor is a black man who wants to cancel Black History Month.
Who was on crack?
Who was
That's exactly
on
how that
crack?
headline reads. Austin Chenge, who is black, wants to cancel Black History Month.
This ain't it.
Yeah, I don't like. Cool.
No.
I don't got that kind of time because it's a
What you
pandemic.
leave, bro?
Is what? There we go.
Yes.
Finally.
Yeah, I don't.
The
fact
suspense
that
is
he
killing
said-
me on God. The suspense.
I posted the DC when he made Azalea Banks cry, and like I'm gonna save it for a while.
Oh
style
my
meme for this.
god, bro. Yeah, man. Dude, I just don't understand coons. Like, I don't understand. Well, okay, so I feel like
This article is fucking hilarious.
I feel like okay, so from a completely political standpoint, I guess if you're trying to win over Republicans in Michigan, you should say some outlandish shit that would have Republicans in Michigan back you. So
Yeah, I mean they tried to kidnap the governor, so yeah.
I mean, so I guess do what you gotta do because these guys are extremists. But at the same time, like, why at the sake of your own people? Why can't you say something else? Like, not even like you're gonna make it American History Month. What does that even mean?
How is Black History not American history?
Yeah, how is it American? And why not?
And like also I just want to
Americans
know
from
the,
all backgrounds deserve a revered history. So I'm gonna cancel this. I'm not
There's
even
also,
canceling
like,
history.
there's, you know,
I'm
They
gonna-
said
October
in
is
the
Hispanic
crowd,
Heritage Month.
one guy, "Well done, Black History is American history," chimed a white man. "Hallelujah, no more division," declared a white woman.
A white woman. That needs to be a button
A
on.
white
A white
Like,
woman.
honestly, because like I mean, there's a Hispanic Heritage Month. It's so hilarious to me how frequently it comes up during Black History Month of like, why is there no White History Month? And I just know you niggas failed history. Because like, how do you sit in a whole school year of history and think to yourself, man, there's no White History Month, when there's only 1 month where you learn about segregation, civil rights movement, and slavery.
And I was blessed enough
And
to
the
go.
rest you learn about the fucking, why they killed Archduke Ferdinand for World War I, and Hitler invading Poland, and all the wars you learn about, and then, like
The whole
George Washington
segments.
and shit,
It would be a whole-
for all the other 9 months you're in school. But this 1 month, Rosa Parks said no. And
have y'all seen
what
that,
about the white women
have you
that
seen
rode the
that
bus?
RGC World?
Yeah,
video?
that's all we did.
That's all we did. He said, "Oh, what did he say? Oh no."
He said, he was like,
Rosa Parks said no.
Yeah, he was like,
Right
oh
there,
yeah,
got
Rosa
two.
Parks said no. Okay, he's like,
Bruh,
wait, that's all we did?
That shit had me roll. That's all we did. The confusion on that nigga's
right,
face.
like it's exactly it.
I was blessed enough to go to a predominantly black school, and most of my teachers were black. I think one year I had a teacher that was Jewish, and like she was white, and that was really agitating. But it wasn't. I just think it was because she was a white woman, and she was also ginger, so. It was like even worse. Like she didn't even have a fucking soul.
Do kids even roast gingers anymore?
No, we weren't roasting her because she was ginger. She was just like a square.
No, but like remember how that was like a big thing?
Yeah,
like, when we were growing up, do kids still roast gingers?
I don't think
just
kids
for being
still roast
gingers?
gingers. No, I don't think so. Kids are actually in love with gingers. Gingers is a whole like
A
type
rare
of girl. Yeah, a rare breed of.
thingy.
Oh my god, she has red hair.
How things can change in like 10 years.
Yeah, man.
But my bad,
Different.
continue.
But most of my, I think all of my teachers throughout all my social studies classes through high school, definitely through middle school, through about half of my elementary school, it didn't really matter regardless because my mom was like damn near a Black Panther, so she was just teaching me shit from when I was like a fucking 2 years old. But like, as far as it goes with my schooling, for the most part, like I can even remember my super specifically my social studies teacher in in 9th and 11th grade, because he went up 2 levels just to come back and teach us in 11th grade, was like he was just teaching us all the stuff. Like I remember he wasn't the first person to teach us this, but he was I will say for me, he was the first social studies teacher that I had that made me understand like American history for real. Because every other teacher was just kind of like, all right, this happened on this
Follow
day.
the curriculum.
Yeah,
yeah.
But they were just like, it was more about the dates. Mr. Martin was like, I'm here to teach you what actually happened. Like the dates really aren't all that important unless you're talking about like the time span that slavery happened and shit like
the
that.
War of 1812.
Yeah, but he was like,
that's what you need to know the dates.
But he was like, more importantly, this is what happened, which actually helped me remember American history. But he was teaching us shit, and he was like, because he was a black teacher, there were things that we were learning in the books about American history, and he'd be like, okay, well, this is what the book says, but nigga, this is what actually happened. Like, don't believe this, and this. He was the first person to really ingrain it in our heads that Abraham Lincoln didn't give a fuck about the slaves. Because all my other teachers before then, whether they've been white or black, were like, Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. And Mr. Martin was the first nigga to be like, bruh, that nigga did not give a fuck about. I remember even one of my teachers, because they would never do the research, one of my teachers was like, all right, now Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves. Nobody knows why, because he had slaves, but he did free the slaves, so people say he fucked with the slaves. And Mr. Martin was the first one to be like, bro, no, he didn't give a fuck. And the only reason he freed the slaves was because like he had to do it in order to basically end the war. And he was like, if I could find a way to keep slaves and end the war, I'd fucking do it. But I can't do that.
Proving
So
once again that the Civil War was about slaves.
yeah,
But I had black teachers pretty much my whole life. I remember even on Twitter, like they were like, what grade were you in when you had your first black male teacher? And I was like, 6th grade. But like I have black teachers.
6th grade.
Yeah, I have black teachers like my
Sixth
whole
grade.
education. Even though when I got to high school, our history teacher was white, but I went to Booker T. Washington. And so when people say, people ask me like why I didn't go to Clark or something like that at HBCU, and I was like, I went to an HBHS. I went to a historically black high school.
Did we have a black male teacher in 7th grade? I know we had one in 8th grade.
Our teachers in 7th grade were Miss Reynolds, Senior Ross, Spanish teacher.
Senior Ross. Yeah, we did have a black teacher.
And so, like, even though, like, he was white...
It's another nigga who explained actual history.
He explained actual... In Spanish.
Yeah.
Like he explained actual history, too. We didn't learn Spanish in that class.
Bro, we learned
history.
Bro, we just learned about...
And just life lessons.
Yeah,
like,
Central American history.
He was, like, absolutely great. But...
Watch Apocalypto in that class. Yeah,
Great
shit to
movie.
do with Spanish.
Oh my god.
Shit had shit to do with no
just-
fucking Spanish.
Great fucking movie.
Tell me this is it. Nope. No. Where's the clap?
Top.
Oh my god.
That one
Apocalypto was
sorry.
crazy, bro.
Yeah.
We
Clap
watched that shit, bro.
goes that I mean Mel Gibson like
Even
That's like
demonic.
that's probably like the only thing where I can watch Mel Gibson and be like, damn.
Yeah,
honestly,
That's great.
Snap, bro.
Yeah, I didn't be like, that's great.
He really, I was
I'm
really
glad they showed y'all
like
that.
that was a.
I had to find out on my own.
Was it?
What?
Thank
Mel
God,
Gibson?
Apocalypto.
Oh,
Was
dude,
it,
we
was it Mel Gibson or was it Charlie Sheen?
Who?
No,
Did
like
what?
one of
Lethal
them.
Weapon?
No,
Had
one,
a
no, it's
rough
not even.
outing.
It's not even with movies. One of them called their white ex-wife a nigger, and I
Probably
just
Mel
think that's
Gibson. It's
great.
Mel Gibson. It's Mel Gibson.
It's probably Mel.
If anything,
Mel Gibson is
that's great.
That
Mel
topic,
Gibson.
yeah, I remember when they had a recording of him going off on someone, like his significant other, and
Yeah,
he was
it's probably
threatening
Mel
her.
Gibson.
Yeah,
That's
I-
the most I heard.
Yeah.
Like
Mel Gibson.
I just vaguely remember that story, and I just think it's amazing.
Yeah, dude, he's not a good person at all. He made Passion of the Christ. The twice?
Yeah, isn't there a Passion of the Christ too?
How do you
Wait, did y'all see that movie?
the Passion of the Christ? I haven't seen it.
Has
in its
everyone
entirety.
seen that movie? Because
I've seen it enough. I've seen it
barely
enough to be like,
remember it.
why the fuck would somebody make this movie? Like, I've seen it in that much of a degree because it's like,
Maybe not.
yeah, bro, I don't understand. Some niggas is just demonic. Like in Apocalypto, it made a bit more sense. It was really gory, and it was really like fucked up. But it was also, but that's what I mean. Like that shit, like it was literally like, okay,
maybe worse.
this
It
shit.
could
Yeah,
be
that's
worse,
and that's
but-
what weird. That's what we watched it about 2 weeks
It's
ago.
always worse.
Remember that when
We
dealing
wa-
with history,
Uh-huh.
it's always
Always
worse than what we
Because
get.
we watched it 2 weeks ago. Because I don't think anybody had watched it in here but me, and we watched it, and I was like, I think my friend Q said that. Q was like, yeah, bro, this is probably a way toned down version of what actually was going. I was like, bro, yes, bro, niggas was dying, bro.
We
Like
watched
straight
that
up.
as 13-year-olds.
Yeah, bro, that shit was crazy,
That-
bro. Certain shit didn't even really hit me until like now because I literally was not mature enough to understand shit.
Right.
When even I think specifically when everybody got captured or when the other, I guess they were technically Aztecs, showed up and kidnapped all the niggas, and they were killing everybody and they were raping the women and doing all that shit. I think that when I was watching it this time was the first time it hit me to be like, damn, like I would also want to die if I had a wife and I thought I just got her fucking pregnant and then some niggas basically just came in my shit and were like,
And
all right,
drag
we're
her off, you
basically-
never see
that's-
her again.
And I gotta watch that shit. Like 4 niggas just like, all right, bet. And then not only that, but they about to transport me somewhere else for me to straight up just die. Like, bro,
He had
that
a
shit was
heroic
happening.
death. I know you're talking that character.
Yeah, uh-huh.
That was.
Oh, that's why I hated history so much.
There's so much
my,
fuck shit,
my,
man.
my mom ingrained like that shit into my head just because like the Haitian Revolution and stuff. And like she used to take me to private movie screenings where they would show like just the history of like stuff that actually happened or history that actually like was actually found and that they were able to show like evidence of this shit happening. Yeah, it's been crazy like since like I was like what 16, 17.
Yeah.
I literally hated like history and social studies because it was whitewashed.
Yeah.
Bro, like I didn't like
And I did like when I hated it in school, I didn't know it was whitewashed. I just knew I hated it. I was like, this has nothing to do with like anything.
Yeah.
And then like now as I've gotten older and gone back
especially
to it,
when I learned about like the Trail of Tears and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like,
was just
you really learn about these
Like, I
stories.
just feel like a lot of this is like off. Like there's a lot of things like they're not telling us.
Yeah, I felt like because a lot of this stuff, I was never into social studies until I got
social
into high
studies
school.
for us in middle school too wasn't like it was
whack.
like it
We have black
like
teachers, I think,
yeah,
every
but it
year.
wasn't
It was
like
whack.
social studies. It was like
No, it
you
was,
just
well,
I mean like technically it was it wasn't history really. It was like
Not as much, yeah.
you were supposed to. It was literally social studies. You learned about stuff that was supposed to be going on.
we learned about history, but it wasn't in the same. Because, for example, Miss Jefferson, because that's what I was just about to say. Like, I know in 7th grade we had Miss Jefferson, right?
Yeah.
In 7th grade we learned about big history because that's what I've been learning about a lot more recently.
Miss Jefferson was really good. The only issue was, remember, she left like for so long because of her mom.
Oh, yeah,
that second semester, and so like we really didn't get to learn anything because we kept having her son as a sub.
But
He didn't do anything.
I mean, still, like as far as us learning stuff in school, I think even the year after that we had Miss Higgs, and I think Miss Higgs, I don't remember what history.
remember,
I feel like
but
Miss Higgs was teaching us American history. We didn't really learn it like that, and you went to a different high school than I went to.
Yeah.
But like I said, Mr. Martin taught me a lot of shit. But I think, like I said about my mom would have me, just be random shit. I come home thinking I was having a random regular day, and my mom would be like, "All right, sit down right here." I'd be like, "What's going on?" She'd be like, "You about to read the Willie Lynch letter out loud?" And I was like, "What the fuck is Willie Lynch?" I'm like 8 or 9 years old. She's like,
"Read this." Remember Rolling Thunder, Hear My Cry?
Because we did have to read. Yeah, when we were in middle school, we had.
But that was our reading teacher.
But still, we did learn.
We did get to learn that stuff.
And especially reading those type of books, it was like, okay, like because you literally in order to read it, at least for the most part. Like I'm an imaginative. Bro, yeah, I hated. A love-hate relationship I had with a lot of those books.
I appreciate it a lot more now.
Yeah.
But like back then, I hated it.
Having to put
Plus,
yourself
they
in those
wouldn't let
positions.
us read manga and stuff.
No, they wouldn't. What grade were we in? Were you? No, you weren't in the same grade as me. I don't think. Not same grade as me, but like I think in 10th grade, our literature teacher. I don't remember what her name was, but she had us read this book that was like comprised of basically. I think it was in that. I think I was in 8th or 9th grade. Miss Scholes had us read a book that was comprised of like a bunch of different black stories, and they were basically all fucked up, bro. Like I used to hate having to read them books, bro. Like one of the books was about like I think 2 boys went down to a river or some shit like that, and there was a white woman, and she just spazzed, and like I think it was 3 of them.
White women are dangerous.
White women are dangerous, bro. There was like 3 white boys going down to a river or a pond or something like that.
They were
Karens out
canceled in 2020.
Back then they were
no more white women. 2020. Flag.
You gotta go way back.
But
Betty's, they were fucking Betty's back then.
They go down to a river. A white woman says like, these black boys were trying to rape me or some shit like that. The husband comes back, shoots one of them, and the boys like basically wrestle the man down and accidentally kill him. And they like, all right, we got to get the fuck out of here. The white woman goes to tell the mob, and the family's like, all right, bro, we got to send you off, or if not, we gonna fucking die. So they send him off, and one of the boys gets caught, and the other boy has to see him literally get tarred, feathered, fucking burnt, and then lynched or some crazy shit like that. And I remember reading this and being like, bro, once again, you never get the actual like full. And not only
that sounds very similar to Emmett Till.
Like, but once again, but even with that, like, it was probably like fucking thousands of Emmett Till.
Yeah,
that's what I mean.
Common.
It was thousands.
Yeah,
that was just
common.
the one that got like that is once that's
Emmett Till was like not Trayvon Martin, but I can't remember the first one that was recorded. Like it was on that. Like Trayvon Martin for our generation is the one where we really get to realize it, kind of like our grandparents did. But like I can't think of the one that blew up that was like actually recorded. That's the one that's kind of like Emmett Till, because the main thing with Emmett Till was she had an open casket to let you know like what
this is what happened.
Like you saw it.
It's just like that. I think once again that's what's more hurtful for me. Not the the Emmett Tills, yes, but it's like the other ones that you don't even know about, bro. Like story. People doing shit like feeding babies to fucking alligators and shit, or even like, have you guys watched American Horror Story?
No.
Some of it, always bits and pieces. Yeah.
Have you seen the 3rd season?
COVID?
Yeah.
I can tell you bits and pieces.
There's a old white woman in it, and her name is Lady Laveau or something like that.
Oh, I do remember her. She had the high bone cheeks.
Yeah, right. And she was immortal type shit. And bro, she's based off a real person, like who was way worse. Like so, there was a woman who owned slaves, and she would literally like basically mutilate the slaves, like sew people together type shit, make people into like furniture and shit, like she was just torturing them. Like
played by Jessica Lange is her name.
Yeah,
she definitely looked okay.
Yeah, she's
that's the best way.
Yeah, but she's based off of a real person. And then once again, if you read the actual history behind it, it's like in the show she was fucking crazy and psycho, but it's like, oh no, the actual person who really was alive was actually 10 times worse than that. Like, just like really.
I've seen like documentation about like how they would host like fairs with like dunk tanks, and they would literally like drown black children in the dunk tanks.
They would
as like just a fair game.
Yeah, they would feed and they feed fucking babies to crocodiles just as a fucking thing.
Yeah, just like literally just because.
Yeah.
See, I just want to let y'all know this is why it's important you watch Lovecraft Country, because it is riveting. It is like so powerful, and it's the stuff you're going to see and how it like what's the word, represents just black culture.
Okay. Yeah. Have you seen
heroically?
Have you seen Watchmen?
I remember you mentioned that.
Please watch Watchmen. Because my thing with
specifically
Lovecraft,
it's on HBO,
one.
right?
No, it's on HBO.
Not the movie.
No.
Did you like that?
You could watch the movie too, but like specifically the show.
The book is a billion times better. Yeah, because
the movie was
read
good.
the book. Yeah,
but
I thought the book.
The
movie's nowhere near as good as
not
the
as
book
good as
because
the
there
book.
was like
if you haven't read the book, the movie is really good.
Okay.
But even if you read the book, like you can appreciate the movie kind of like as a movie.
Okay.
Because the same thing that you said about like with things being animated versus things being live action, like you said, if you read the book is a billion times better. But it's because like it's a comic, so they're just
you can do a lot.
You can do
more.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
In the movie, I think the main
you're limited.
They're for the most part the same, but there are a few points that make it to where it's like.
There's like it's just like if you read the book, you would just see some things like in the movie that it was like that you would want to see, but you also understand why they couldn't do it.
But as far as like my main thing with Lovecraft Country, I haven't finished watching it. I've watched how many episodes is it? Like 10?
Yes. 10, yeah.
I've watched 9 of the 10 episodes, and the last episode I was like, bro, I'm not. But it was because
so you did run through it.
Yeah, but I just didn't, bro. I could not. I was invested in the black part of me, but like as a show, I just couldn't. I couldn't figure out what was going on. I couldn't figure out 100% who I was supposed to be rooting for or not rooting for.
Kept you on your toes.
It did, but it was just like it was too. Like conceptually, it was just a lot going on. But I fucked with what they were doing, what they were trying to do. Like for example, the Hippolyta episode was fucking kick ass. The episode, there were several episodes that really had me like, damn. The episode with the
3.
The episode with the house, where the ghosts were under the house.
That's the only reason I brought up that show, bro. Episode 3.
Crazy. I watched that.
Crazy how
it raised my expectations for what
vengeful it was.
Yes, like all the black people coming together downstairs. Like there were
rid of monsters like that that actually existed.
There are very strong points of it, but this is why I want you to watch Watchmen. Watchmen did a much better job of completing a whole thing because
finally. I feel like Watchmen is gonna be good.
It's literally one of the best TV shows to come out in the last 10 years. Like the way it is one of those shows you have to watch multiple times and it gets better each time you watch it because of the way that they tell the story time wise. And it's about black people. That's the most important thing. Even though because this is not. The show is not like the movie. The show takes place, I think, 30 years after the movie.
People were so mad about that.
Yeah, they were. But the show takes place 30 years after the movie, really 30 years after the book, because it's based off of the events that happen in the comic book more directly than the movie. But it really is about black people. It starts off with the Tulsa, Oklahoma City bombings. And what was crazy about that is like I talked about this on the show before, but there's so much philosophy. But one of the main philosophies in the show is that history is whitewashed, and they're always taking things and they're flipping it to be something else. So they super specifically in the show juxtapose things that really happened with things that did not happen. Like, because it's still a fictional universe. But for example, like I said, they open up the show with the Tulsa, Oklahoma City bombings. So a lot of people watching the show that don't know about American history like that are watching this like, damn, this is a good setup. And so they go
not even thinking about research.
And literally put it. A lot of people went and looked it up afterwards. They were like, yo, we didn't know this shit happened. And then you got people that are like, nigga, yes, this is literally like a part of history that they don't put in there.
Only one.
No. And it's a lot of things like that in the show that are literally like, they really happen, but they not compare it, but they put it right next to something that's like their own version of reality.
They do a real good job of using surrealism and realism. Like, do you watch Atlanta?
Of course.
You know how in Atlanta you'll have things like in season 1 where like episode 2 or episode 1 where he's on the bus with the dude who's like buy the sandwich and then he just like walks into the woods and then a better example is season 2 where Paperboy's in the woods.
Yes.
And the whole thing about that is because Brian T. Henry's mom had passed before they started filming. Okay. And if you watch the beginning of that episode, there's just a woman walking around telling him to clean up. And then he's kind of like going through life dealing without being his mom, right? So that's the same thing. Like they do it with Donald Glover does it with like just real life situations. But that's exactly how the Watchmen is. But the Watchmen do it with like actual history.
Yeah,
and they do a really good job of showing you like this really happened. And because it's a show, we're going to expand it. But the goal is for you to understand that this really happened and go research it.
Perfect example. No, I guess we could wrap it up here. But I said this before. There's a scene where a character, they show a scene out of a show that they're making inside of the show, and in the show that they're making, this this superhero nigga jumps into a window to save everybody inside of the store. But then they go back and they show what actually happened in history is actually a black dude, and he didn't jump in the window, he jumped out the window because niggas were shooting at him. But it's the way that they take history, and they'll take something like that, like in actual American history, they'll take something and be like, well, this is what happened, because it's the patriotic thing, or it makes America look a certain type of way, or it makes them look better.
Like
but in all actuality, it's
like
a totally
George
different
Washington
thing.
had wooden teeth, but they were actually the teeth of his slaves.
I didn't see
Stuff
it.
like
I
that.
didn't fucking know that. But it's like they'll take, but that's one of the deep philosophies in Watchmen. Like American history is definitely not what the fuck it seems, and black people are super important. Black people are actually like, at least within the show, they're the whole focal point of everything that's going on. But I remember I've talked to my mom about this several times, because I keep trying to get her to watch it, and she keeps talking to me about Lovecraft Country, not knowing that I've seen like the majority of it. But I keep telling her, I'm like, bro, I understand why you love Lovecraft Country so much, because it literally is black. But at the same time, my thing
the fictional aspect of it was also impressive in my opinion. I mean, we could get into that, like the whole magical elements. It was still a sci-fi, and it was pretty well like good quality.
My thing was just like the way the story didn't feel like it tied. Like it wasn't bad. It was just the story didn't feel like it tied.
I don't feel like he gets enough credit for that.
I don't think Jordan Peele gets enough credit
executive
for that,
producing it, right?
Yeah.
He was an idea. I know
man.
the author was, he
was the executive producer along with J.J. Abrams.
I feel like the way that I felt about Lovecraft Country was like not in segments, but like the pieces of it were really nice pieces, but the whole picture didn't come together properly for me. Like the way literally the way Watchmen ended was to a point where it was like, oh, don't make another season. Don't make anything else regarding the show at all ever again. Maybe like 20, maybe 30 years from now, when we're in a different time in history, and we can see
the second season.
No,
I remember they wanted to. Yeah, I remember.
No. They said no. Not HBO wanted to pick up the second season, but the writers were like, "Bro, we don't want to." Yeah, because it ended so perfectly. The story was completely told. Not saying the only thing they could do is wait another 30 years to see what American actual history looks like, and if we get reparations and shit like that, then maybe they could make another one. But outside of that, it's like, all right, cut it right there. Absolutely perfect. Ends with a question. Yeah. Literally ends not the same way Inception ends, but you know like how Inception ends with the top spinning and you're like, is the top falling or not? It literally ends on the same type of note. Like, but that's why it's perfect and you don't need anything else. Like I said, it's really good. But all right, we love y'all. It's been a beautiful stream. Chapter 20.
I want to bring Austin Chenge up in next week's episode. I just don't feel as if we cooned him enough.
We didn't coon him enough.
We got on to more important things.
We can have a coon off.
What, between like him and Terry Crews?
Whoever.
Terry Crews.
Let's look up the last.
I don't know if he's.
I know there have been coons. I don't think we touched on Lil Wayne the way we were supposed to either.
We probably didn't. Do you think he can really challenge Terry Crews?
No. He doesn't have as much stand.
I was gonna say I don't think he has enough under him yet.
No, he doesn't. The only person closer, only person above Terry Crews right now is Herman Cain, because he died for cooning, so he's the ultimate coon.
And Jason Whitlock, he's up there, just like Herman Cain,
above
Terry Crews, Jason. No, they're like on the same level. Like
Terry Crews made a whole acronym for coon.
Did make that.
Like I think he's got him edged out just a little bit.
Jason Whitlock be on Fox Sports, like just.
I mean, at least he getting the bag. At least he getting the bag.
That's the difference.
Terry Crews is doing it for the fuck of it.
That's the difference.
Like
between the Negro and the coon.
But
the Negro knows not of what he's doing. Not only does the coon know of what he's doing, he is willingly and profiting off of it. Terry Crews is still getting publicity.
But he ain't making money the same way. This nigga's on an actual network. See, if you go, my thing is like, if you go coon, I have more respect for you if you at least making money cooning. If you just cooning from the bottom of your heart and not getting anything from it.
There is no respect for cooning.
I mean, there's no respect for cooning, period. I said this earlier. It's like, you can't be canceled. There aren't really different levels to cancel. It's like you're either canceled or you're not really canceled. I mean, you can't really, but I'm saying theoretically, you're either canceled or not canceled at the end of the day.
Oh, no, I was saying you can't. I was saying, like, we don't really cancel.
No, we don't. But I'm saying, hypothetically, if we did, there's not, like, deeper levels to cancel.
Yeah, like, you can't be like,
I'm 35.
Like, you're 5% canceled.
It's like imaginary. It's like imaginary numbers. So, like, there's not like I have more respect, but it's like, I literally, like, if you're a coon and you're making money, like, at least I can say you're making money. If you're just cooning, like, generally for the sake of cooning.
Honestly,
like,
if you're cooning to make money, it's even worse for me.
Really?
Yeah.
You're just going somewhere. You're just cooning for the sake of cooning. That means you're coming from the bottom.
You could be funneling back that money into, you know.
I mean, yeah, it's literally.
Jason,
and you get okay. No, think about this. Think about this. Think about this. What if you
still the
coon?
possibility.
That's what I'm saying. What if you
back
coon
to
a
that.
lot? You get your money up, and then you're like, damn, you have a change of heart. At least you can give back to the community. If you're cooning, you're not getting no money. By the time, if you do have a change of heart, which you're probably not gonna have because you're definitely broke. But if you do have a change of heart, you can't even do anything to fucking.
I'm gonna have to agree. Cooning and broke.
There's a totally different thing.
No, bro. Cooning,
like
cooning for money is so different because, like
it's like
that's
being ugly and broke or being rich and broke.
It's
like,
it's the different. Ain't no
I'm
such
sorry, rich
thing
and
as,
ugly. I'm sorry.
Ain't no
rich
such
and
thing as an
broke
ugly
and
billionaire.
Exactly.
No, like that's the difference between like a Negro and a coon. A coon knows what they're doing. Like there is no change of heart
You don't think
when you just out here cooning.
Okay, so I think you could be a coon and not know what you're doing. You can still be a coon.
Nah.
Yeah, you can.
Nah.
You can be a MAGA nigga and just be ignorant of what the fuck is going on in life, but you're still a coon.
That black lady from
Candace
Candace Owens.
Yeah. No, her too. But the black lady from the Jubilee shit, she's a coon.
Shit.
She's ignorant,
she's
but
a
she's a
coon.
coon.
Yeah, she's
like
a coon.
she's definitely a coon. She's ignorant though.
No, but like she definitely like went down that path. There is no like changing her.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying like
Like she went like down
smart.
the whole MAGA thing. Like
Yeah.
I think like nah, man, if you're cooning for money, like you know what you're doing.
look, we're gonna say we're gonna say this coon.
If you're cooning for money, I think you know what you're doing.
I mean, yeah,
If you're
it's money
in a
bro.
situation like
For
where if you're in a situation where like you're cooning and you're making money and you're using that money to help, you're technically not cooning because cooning is to the detriment of other black people. So I don't think like you can be cooning for money and help black people. Doesn't matter. You're still perpetuating
We're gonna return to these coon
this
topics.
coonness.
We're gonna return to these coon topics.
Yeah,
we're
the
gonna
next-
actually write them down
next
because
week
we do need a fundamental like definition on like what a coon
Next
is.
week is the coon episode, or
me just
the
get this
cancel
real quick
coon
over here.
episode.
Oh my gosh.
All right, man. We love y'all once again. Our 20th episode. Thank y'all for tuning in. Keeping
Black
up
lives
with us,
still
man.
fucking matter.
Black
Happy
lives
Black
still
History
matter.
Month.
Next week, the
In
coon off of
SARS.
2021. In SARS, Black Lives Matter. Salute.
Y'all have a good night.